Well, howdy folks, Pornis Studios, Dallas, Texas. You know, I'm sitting here with a stick, a box, and some strings, and they tell me I can make a cigar box guitar with that. Well, based on this stuff over here, I think I can figure that out. But there's one thing I really can't figure out. What's the deal with Speal?
What's the deal with Speal?
Welcome to What's the Deal with Speal, the show that talks about cigar box guitars and other just cool stuff every week. My name is Shane Speal. Thanks for joining me, and see this? I made this ukulele a couple years ago, and I'm going to give it away at the end of this episode. Yes, I'm going to give this sucker away, so stick around and you'll find out how you can win it. Hey, did you notice at the beginning of this video I showed two of our previous winners, Mark Coulter and Floyd Jamieson? Congratulations, guys. I'm so glad you got your guitars in the mail. Today we're going to talk about selling cigar box guitars. I'm going to show you my secret weapon, and I'm going to take a look back at my cigar box guitar vending tent to give you ideas in case you want to get into selling. Because right now, as we're going into winter, is a perfect time for you to start building, getting ready for spring festivals. So stick around, it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we're going to take a look at what's on my bookshelf and more. Check it out. Had to pick this one up. It's been a while since I've shown this on any kind of video. This is my Uncle Crow guitar. Many years back on Cigar Box Nation, Crow Richardson came up with this as his favorite design. And it was basically a stick on top of a cigar box to make with all homemade parts. Even his tuners are nothing but eye bolts. Has a cool little way of mounting the strings in the back. And a lot of people really got into making this type of guitar for a while. He actually gave me his original one. Wrote me a message on the back. And it's just such a fun cigar box guitar to have. I'm using the stubby bottle from Stubby Slide. The only mod I ever did to this was I added a CBGs disc O-tone pickup. There's a piezo in here and it has a volume knob. It's all pre-wired, and I have it running into my Roland Microcube. And as you'll see coming up, you don't need a preamp whenever you're using a piezo pickup if you have a Roland Microcube. So these tuners, I actually need to use a screwdriver to tune these up because it's pretty tight, but they do hold a tune. They do keep those strings from moving. For such a simple instrument, it's completely inspiring. And I've thanked you many times before, but Crow, if you're watching this, thank you again. Here's a couple updates from last week's episode. Number one, I said I was in need of a photo scanner for my historical photos, and I actually got a trade. I just shipped a cigar box guitar out to Jennifer Schemberger in trade for a brand new photo scanner. Thank you, Jennifer. I also asked for information if anybody knew who built these double neck guitars that I have, and Tufla commented that he saw the musician carrying one of these down Bourbon Street just 3 weeks before Katrina hit. He told me that the musician was a Caucasian man and he wasn't playing the guitar at the time. So we've added to the clues for who is Willie White, the builder. My bookshelf, yes, has many books on how to build musical instruments, but I also collect books on assemblage art, found object art. This is a great one. It's Michael Demeng, and he does these really wild Mexican prayer boxes using so many different found objects, great, wild, creepy stuff. And I can tell you, I have stolen a lot of his techniques in and use them on musical instruments that I've built. So, Dusty Diablo's Assemblage Ole by Michael Demeng. Another great book is by a very similar artist. It is The Altered Object by Terry Taylor. It has one of Demeng's art pieces on the cover, and this gives you a lot of inspiration for creating your own found object art. Just a lot of good stuff in here. Step-by-step techniques. There it is, The Altered Object, Terry Taylor. And last, this one, I think this book's out of print. I know that the author had passed away, but I love this book. The Fine Art of the Tin Can by Bobby Hansen. This guy made artwork out of all different types of metal tin cans and things of that nature. He does so many different things with tin cans, but the best thing about this book is a section on his musical instruments. Yes, tin can musical instruments. A lot of good stuff in here. A fun read. The Fine Art of the Tin Can by Bobby Hansen. That's what's on Shane's bookshelf. I'm going to revisit something that I taught many years ago. Just wanted to give an updated video. I have a secret weapon for when I'm selling cigar box guitars at festivals. And it's this right here. A Roland Microcube amp. Now listen to this. Now imagine you're walking through a festival and there's bands playing and there's kids screaming and just cacophony everywhere. You come to my tent and what is coming out of my tent? Just soft, quiet music, almost like a siren's call. This is by design. I am doing this on purpose. Why? Because I want to draw people in. I want them to come see something that looks quite curious, and also I want them to see my tent as soothing, my vendor tent. So I will play this soothing type of music through a Roland Microcube. Now, if you're selling cigar box guitars with piezos inside of them, you don't even need a preamp in order to use a Roland Microcube and get a good sound. Why? Because this is what's called a modeling amp. There is computer stuff inside here that will make whatever guitar you feed into it sound a lot better. So even if you have just a simple piezo with no preamp, this will still sound good. Now mine's beat up, it's dusty, it's old, and it's been used many years. I keep my setting on JC Clean, and I put the tone back. I roll the tone so there's not a lot of treble. And as you can see, this knob has been replaced with an old radio knob because it fell off many years ago. This is how much I use this amp. It is that banged up and beat up. But this knob is on a ton of reverb. I put a lot of reverb on and I pull the tone back. And in doing so, it gives you that soothing sound. Now, when we're talking cigar box guitars, usually you're thinking of something that sounds sort of like this. Kind of like, you know, that mid-range, and it's a little creaky. Yes, that's very much a tone I love. However, if you're trying to sell these things, you want people to be drawn in. You want them to just be fascinated by what they hear. Now, here's the beautiful thing of it. Let me set this back. The tone, I'm going to roll it down to the low end, and I'm going to give it some reverb. Now, even if you're not a good player, if you take one of my lessons and just learn a good section of one of my lessons and play that, You could play that stuff all day long and still draw a simple blues. Now, even in that, playing simple blues, it is in that beautiful rolled off tone with the reverb, and it just sounds soothing. And it's all with this Roland Microcube amp. They sell these. There's been several different updates since I bought this one. But the nice thing about these amps is they can run on batteries if you don't have power. And it also has a space so you can put a guitar strap on there and carry it around. Very easy to use, a lot of fun, and it makes everything sound great. So there's my secret weapon for selling cigar box guitars, is how the Roland Microcube makes everything sound better.
Alright, I wanted to show how I set up my vending booth for selling cigar box guitars. What I did was I purchased a $100 tent from Walmart. Then I got a bunch of screen doors from Lowe's. And what I did, and the screen doors were real cheap, they were like 25 bucks. I pulled the screen out, and where the screen was, I put chicken wire. Now if you look, I have lined the inside of this tent with these doors, and the tents are being held up with little plastic ties that tie to the inside of the tent. All the guitars can be hung right there on the chicken wire. Just hang the tuning pegs on there. So as you're, if you're a customer, you can just walk right in and just walk around and see all the guitars that I have for sale. They're not on tables. It just invites you to walk into this mini storefront. Now I showed up at this festival with 88 guitars built. So I even have the outside of this lined. But that's it. It's a pretty simple setup, and it makes it so nice.
If you want to win this ukulele built by me, yes, I signed it. Check it out right there. All you have to do is like this video, you need to subscribe to my channel, and you need to put a comment below. That's how you enter, is putting that comment below. So like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment below, and you'll be entered to win this ukulele. I'm giving it away in 1 week. So there we go. All right, I want to announce last week's winner. I was given a beautiful Fantacone Boxworks cigar box guitar, and I asked you to like the video, to subscribe, and to comment. And the winner of last week's Fantacone cigar box guitar is, boom, Matt Dana Borzon. Matt Dana Borzon, Matt, thank you so much. You are the winner. I'll be contacting you, and I will be sending that guitar out ASAP. Thank you for tuning in. Now, this has been What's the Deal with Speal, brought to you by CBGs Crafter Supply. Guys, right now is a perfect time to be getting all those parts you need, especially for holiday building. And by the way, they've got some incredible kits too. You've seen me play their kits. If you want to support this channel, you see all the shirts I've been wearing. Shirts are at guitarrags.com. If you're a blues fan, you're going to love the stuff here. And stubbyslide.com. Those two help keep this channel going. My name's Shane Speal, and check me out on Instagram at Cigar Box Guitar. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.